Hello everybody, this is Miss Madden, and today I'm going to dump you in the deep end of the pool and show you a crash course into 4-level grammar analysis. If this is your first year playing with it, I know this is going to be overwhelming, but I promise by the end of the year you're going to be doing just great. We actually have 5 levels. Level 1 is going to be parts of speech. Level 2 is going to be parts of a sentence. Level 3 is going to be phrases, or what we call verbals. Level 4 has to do with clauses, and Level 5 is the type of sentence. So I'm just going to walk you through this sentence and show you how we do Level 4 level analysis. Level 1 is parts of speech. We have nouns, pronouns, adjectives, verbs, adverbs, prepositions, interjections, and conjunctions. And so we are going to go from there. So who is what we call an interjection. After is going to be a preposition, an is an article adjective, work is a noun, and hours is modifying work. What work and hours work, so that is an adjective. I want you to notice my J comes down below the line. We is what we call a personal pronoun, and it is acting as the subject. Had is a verb. Oh goodness, that didn't work. It's going to be a helping verb. Finally, it ends in ly, and it's going to be modifying pulled. Finally is going to be an adverb, and pulled is going to be an action verb. All is going to be an indefinite pronoun. Of is going to be a preposition. The is an article adjective. Weeds is a noun. And is a coordinating conjunction. Cleaned is an action verb. The is an article adjective. Small is an adjective, modifying garden, which is a noun. Whenever I do adjectives and adverbs, I like to go ahead and point arrows as to what they are modifying. Okay, interjection, you don't need anything under there as part of sentence. After an hour's work is what we call a prepositional phrase. It starts with a preposition, and a prepositional phrase ends in a noun or a pronoun. And I draw the arrows to get you down from parts of speech through parts of a sentence into verbals. And the reason I do that is because I'm going to take this out when I'm done, and I'll be left with the rest of the sentence. So I'm going to do the same thing there and in this prepositional phrase, and it ends with weeds, because that ends in a noun. All right, so level 2 is parts of the sentence. After an hour's, that kind of goes away, and work becomes the object of the preposition. After work. Okay, and level 3, I'm going to go ahead and put this one in. It's what we call a prepositional phrase. Anytime you have a prepositional phrase that begins a sentence, it isn't acting as an adverb prepositional phrase because it's answering the question when, usually. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing of the weeds. I like to get them out at the beginning so I don't have to worry about them. Of the goes away, and weeds becomes the object of the preposition. Level 3 is identifying it as a prepositional phrase, and of the weeds is modifying the word all, which is a pronoun, and the only thing that can modify a noun or a pronoun is an adjective. Okay, so for example, the rest of this sentence is gone. So what I have is we'd finally pulled all and cleaned the small garden. Okay? So now what we're going to do, we know that we is the subject. Our predicate is had pulled. There's nothing underneath finally because that's not part of the predicate. But when I do my verbs, I like to identify what type of verb it is an action verb. And there's a reason for that when we get into later into grammar. We're going to identify why I need it to be an action verb or a linking verb, because it's going to tell me, am I going to have a complement or am I going to have a direct object? So I'm going to keep going. Pulled, and then I see this and, coordinated conjunction and. Anytime you see an and, you need to figure out what's being joined. And in this case, cleaned and pulled are being joined. So if pulled is an action verb, that means that cleaned is an action verb. So cleaned is also going to be an action verb predicate. We have one subject but 2 predicates because of that word and. We had pulled and cleaned what? Garden is acting as a direct object. We have one subject predicate set, which makes it an independent clause. This whole sentence has one independent clause, which makes it a simple, and it is a declarative sentence because it is just declaring something. Clear as mud, right? It'll all make sense. Have fun.